Hi, everybody. Mitch Tanenbaum here. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a special uh, post talking about the new version of NIST Special Publication 800-171 Revision 3. This mostly applies to government contractors, but we are seeing some civilian companies, large companies, also applying this as a standard. So it could apply to that. But certainly anybody that is in the government contracting business, this is something that should be important to you. So 800-171 has been around in different incarnations since about 2015. The current version is revision 2, and that's in effect for those folks who have to comply with the government Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or CMMC. They're very familiar with 800-171 revision 2. But revision 3 is around the corner. What NIST says is they expect a final draft this fall and a release version early in the winter. So if this is something that applies to you, now would be a great time to start looking at it. So if we look at the screen here, you can see the 14 existing control families, like access control, awareness and training, audit and accountability, and what they've done to it. You see that some items have been withdrawn, some items have been added. The key thing about the withdrawn is it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not required anymore. It may just mean that they've been combined with other controls, things that were related to each other. But what they have done is they've added 3 new families of controls: planning, system and services acquisition, and supply chain risk management. These are things that are high risk to the DoD. We're seeing a very large number of supply chain attacks. So that's important, and that's going to require new things that you weren't doing before. One reviewer went off and analyzed the standard, and the results they came up with were 18 controls that had no significant change, 49 controls with significant change, and that may just mean combining with other controls or taking things out of Appendix E, which I'll talk about later, or things like that. And then 53 new what's called organization-defined parameters. An ODP, organization-defined parameter, is a control which they're leaving it up to the organization to figure out what the answer. Now, who the organization is, that's not clear. Could be the Pentagon, could be your end customer, could be your prime. But an example might be, use strong passwords, and passwords must be blah, like 9 characters, 11 characters, 14 characters, mixed upper and lowercase numbers, whatever. That's an organizational defined parameter. The other thing they've done, and you can see this in this chart, is this thing called NFO, which is a non-federal organization. What they assumed is that you guys were doing this without them having to tell you to do it. Well, it turns out that's not the case. So there are still a few in this new version, 17, but most of them, about 40 or 50, have now been turned into things which, instead of being things they expect you to do without specifying, is things that they expect you to do with specifying. So this is a lot of where those changes come from. If you take these 40 or 50 controls that were in Appendix E, which weren't scored before, and you move them into the core document, well, now you're changing things. These are things you should have been doing anyway, but since you weren't being scored on it, maybe some people didn't do that. Okay. They've also changed the layout of things, and I think this is a good thing. So everything is together now. The rules, the discussion, and the references. The references point to both 853, which is where a lot of this comes from, as well as other publications. So kind of here's an overview of what they did. They improved the readability. They updated the security requirements. They added tailoring categories, what they call ODPs, or organization defined parameters, and they've added supplemental resources to help you figure out what's going on. I don't anticipate most people being able to digest this by themselves. If you need help with this, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to assist you, and understand that this is likely going to be coming to a contract near you real soon. And I mean real soon, in less than 12 months. So until next time, stay safe, and thanks for watching.
Turnkey Cybersecurity and Privacy Solutions offers the complete cybersecurity program for small to medium-sized businesses. They include everything needed to secure your business and meet compliance requirements. Visit our website at turnkeycybersecurityandprivacysolutions.com to learn more.